Hello, everybody. Welcome in. It's Laura from Tenacious Taurus Twin Flame Tarot, and I'm going to channel the Pluto in Aquarius energies for the collective. We have Pluto moving into Aquarius today. It actually already moved into Aquarius at 8:14 this morning in my local area. And so the world is about to change drastically. We're entering into a new era, the age of Aquarius, and this is where we embrace this new individualistic view of who we are. And so Pluto is going to be in Aquarius for 2 decades. So we're transforming the collective over the next 2 decades, and this is going to come in at an individual level in a profound way based on where you're going to have Aquarius in your housing side in your chart. So it's all going to depend on that. So, and I will go through the houses and what this means for each sign at the end of this channeling of the astrology part. So Pluto changes signs approximately every 20 years or so. And when it does, we shift our focus, right? We're entering into a completely new era, completely new energy of transformation. And so the last time Pluto shifted signs, it was from Sagittarius into Capricorn in 2008. So look back to 2008 and figure out what your focus on has been for the last 15 years when it comes to some type of transformation that took place in around 2008. So for me, when I look back, 2008 was 2 years before I entered into motherhood. I became a mother in 2010. I was about 26 years old when my parents got divorced, and I was 28 in 2008 when my mother got re-engaged. And so there was a lot of father wounding that came up for me while Pluto was in Capricorn, and there was a lot of family dynamics when it comes to the lack of fathers or, emotionally well fathers within my family history. And so my father's a little bit of a narcissist. He's an alcoholic. He's a drunk. I have no relationship with my father anymore. I made peace with that, 4 or 5 years ago during my awakening. I'm going to say 2008 was probably around the year that my brother became a father. And I know my brother is a light worker, a divine masculine, so to speak. And so there's been this transformation when it comes to our health, our work. Work is a big one, too, for example. So wherever you had Capricorn in your housing side, that's what we've been shifting and healing and transforming the last 15 years or so. And so what was on the top of your mind every day? What was a part of your reality almost every day for the past 15 years that you no longer want to be relevant? And so where I'm at is I'm tired of these deadbeat daddies is kind of where I'm at. Collectively, let's face it, Capricorn represents the father. Collectively, we've got a big mess on our hands collectively. The abundance of single mothers and deadbeat dads out there is unreal. I just want to put that out there. And I don't know why that is. I think a big part of it is many of the feminines in the collective have fallen into their masculine. And we've got a bunch of grown-ass men running around with these mother wounds looking for a mommy to take care of them. And so the collective distortion is big, right, with Pluto and Capricorn. And so for the past 15 years, we've been focusing on these distorted father-like relationships. And when Pluto enters into Aquarius, get ready for some massive changes. And so I do feel there's a lot transforming collectively in profound ways when it does come to the masculine collective over the next 20 years. And so we've been feeling this change for the last 2.5 years minimum. We've been feeling the winds of change. We've been prepping for this transition of Pluto into Aquarius when we had Jupiter in Aquarius a few years back. And when we also had Saturn in Aquarius, that has now shifted into Pisces. And so that was like a prerequisite of what's going to be playing out karmically speaking with Pluto and Aquarius. And so you're likely going through some type of personal transition in your life. Something is making you painfully aware of what needs to change, most likely. It's like maybe you can't really put your finger on it, but you can tell like this energy of something's brewing. And so we're in this window of opportunity to go through some sort of transformation, transition with this Aquarian energy in a certain area of your life. And so this is going to be like a natural process where one door closes and another one opens. And we don't really know what's on the other side. And that's part of experiencing faith in the journey, right? And so change can be exciting. Change can be very exhilarating. I'm a 10th house Sag, and so change is like my middle name. Actually, my middle name is Jean, Laura Jean, but no, change, right? And so, but change for many, especially fixed signs, and although I'm a Taurus sun sign, I am a Virgo moon. I'm very mutable, right? I'm very mutable. I'm a Jupiter in Virgo, which mutates the expansion. Actually, Jupiter in Virgo is actually the detriment of Virgo. I'm a Pisces rising. So even though I'm a Taurus sun sign, I'm very fixed. I'm very mutable. And so change for me really doesn't bring a whole lot of anxiety or uncertainty. I'm kind of like, leap first, think later. And I usually don't think through the consequences when I make a rash decision with the 10th house Sag. But every major transit like this does bring forward a unique opportunity. So look at where Pluto in Aquarius is at in your chart, because this is going to bring forward a lot of destabilizing influences in that housing aspect. But it's also going to bring forward an opportunity to co-create with the universe and transform your life in ways that you've never imagined before. And so when we resist change, that nagging, niggling feeling keeps persisting, and that's because it's better to know the devil you know than the devil you don't know, right? And so while we get so comfortable sticking in these familiar patterns in any type of situation, as Pluto changes signs today, the last thing you want to do is stay stuck in the past. We all have free will, right? Pluto's key function in the cosmic world, in the astrological world, is to bring change. A higher octave of Mars, like I talked about, it is the higher octave of Mars. Pluto wants to keep the engine going. And so it's not going to be easy working with these energies, I feel, especially for the masculine collective, especially those that have been in the low vibration and not honoring the higher calling of what a true masculine father and leader needs to be. And so the universe is going to bring in change, whether you're ready for it or not. And this is going to be a transformation journey that will be totally worth it. But it's going to be painful. It's like the diamond emerging, right? And so the diamond is exposed to all of this high pressure, high temperature in order to bring in a new, better version, right? Shine bright like a diamond, like that Rihanna song. And so life is coming at us. And Pluto is saying it's time to do the work. So what can we expect from this shift with Pluto in Aquarius? The truth is that if you really want to understand how this energy, this transit is going to affect you, reading about it, watching videos about it, isn't going to get your needle moving. I'm just going to be honest there. And so it's about grasping the Pluto in Aquarius in your natal chart at a cosmic intellectual level. I'm especially gifted, I feel, and I'm lucky to be versed in astrology for those gifts to kind of come back online almost instantaneously. And so when I consume any content online, I'm not just in the spectator seat. I see and I know, right? I can look at an astrology chart. I can look at the daily astrology playing out, and I get all of these third eye downloads from looking at the chart. So I'm in a very nice position to understand that aspect. Not everybody has the ability to be versed in astrology and understand their natal chart. And so with Pluto being the collective dimension of Mars, there's going to be a massive life force shift within the masculine collective. And that's what Mars in Gemini retrograde was doing, was a recalibration of our solar plexus. And so Pluto's powerful nature is coming in and saying, if you are not aligned with the personal collective will of the masculine Mars energy, this is not going to be an easy collective shift. So there is divine will, or collective will, so to speak, and then there's personal will. And so I feel if you've chosen to operate out of free will, knowing full well you've been fighting the spiritual journey the whole time. I do feel get ready to be crushed. Get ready to be crushed. Get ready for Pluto to strike, and you will have no say in what is destroying around you and what is leaving your life, and you are going to be at the mercy of these plutonic powers much greater than your free will, is what I want to say. And so secrets are going to come up. Hidden secrets are going to come up. I suggest don't putting up a fight. Allow yourself to surrender, because this Pluto with battle, you will not win. I'm just going to say, you will not win. And so surrendering and trusting in the universe is what is going to be essential at a personal level as Pluto comes in and eliminates everything that's not working in your life, to help you build resilience to find your true personal spiritual power. And so personal power should be based on a deep understanding of yourself and the world around you. It is never about controlling another. At a society level, Pluto's going to come in and it's going to erode all of this government corruption, financial corruption. The last time Pluto shifts signs, I just noticed 11:11, twin flame energy, awakening. It's the great awakening. I believe there was a financial crisis, so there's likely going to be an overhaul of our financial banking systems coming up here. I was shown New Earth timelines will be based on energy, so I do believe like we are probably going to be entering into a completely, totally electronic financial system coming up here. Aquarius deals with thoughts. It deals with the internet, social media. It is all about technology, and so I do feel this Pluto energy, we're going to have to withstand some very difficult endings, some very difficult conditions coming up here. But we're going to grow stronger as a society. This is going to bring us all together, and this is going to eventually empower us, the people, we the people. But first, we kind of got to kill the ego, or at least dismiss the lower ego, so to speak. So the aquarification is what I want to call it. Aquarification, or the Aquarian purification process, is humbling, to say the least. It is a humbling energy because Aquarius is the opposite sign of Leo. I'm a South Node in Aquarius. I'm a 12th house Aquarius. And I'm a North Node Leo. So Leo is about me, right? Aquarius is about we. So I mastered we in a past lifetime, and now I have to master me, right? And so we are reaching the light at the end of the tunnel, although it doesn't feel like that because a lot is going to be lost coming up here. But we are reaching some type of silver lining with this transit today, okay? And so many have been deep in Pluto's underworld, trying to find their sacred light, their pure consciousness, and stripping down the ego. And so if you've done the work, Pluto is saying it's time to step into freedom, right? Pluto doesn't want to break your soul, doesn't want to break your spirit. It wants to break your ego down, right? And I just want to say it's incredibly difficult to live without your ego because the subconscious mind gets us from A to B. Your ego is what, allows you to drive a car from here to there. Your ego serves a purpose. It's the drive that gets you out of bed every day to go and accomplish your goals, right? But it's the negative, lower aspects of the ego that need to be released, that we can live without, right? The energy of judgment, criticism, and all of that stuff. So the energy, I feel, is very controversial, to say the least. My phone's been blown up for days. So if we go through the houses, so if you have pulled your natal chart, and if you've never done that, super easy. Now actually would be the perfect time to book in for a full personal reading over the coming month, as we're in this brand new cycle portal between the Aries new moons. But to understand which area of your life this Aquarian energy is going to be transforming in some aspect, it's to look at the housing. And so if you don't have any Aquarius in any of your housing, many of us will have all of the signs somewhere in our chart at some point, right? We're compromised of all of the planets usually within a natal chart. And so if you have like your sun in Aquarius and you have no Aquarius in your housing, look where the sun falls in your housing, because that's what's going to be transformed. And so if you have an Aquarius rising or your ascendant in Aquarius, this is going to affect your area of self-identity. So get ready to transform how you act in life, pretty much. This is going to be the image, the personality that you put out there seen by others. And this is basically your attitude towards life. So this is like a complete transformation of self in the first house. In the second house, pardon me. The second house is the area that does rule material wealth and security. It rules our self-value. It rules our money, our personal finances, and our sense of self-worth and our basic values. It also rules our personal possessions. So if you have Aquarius in the second house, get ready to maybe lose a lot of material security, especially if you've built your self-worth and values on personal finances and possessions. In order to give you a proper sense of self-worth, because we can't base our values and our self-worth on personal possessions ever, never, never. They will be taken from you in order for you to learn that. And so if you have Aquarius in the third house, this is your area of social and intellectual learning. This is also the house of communication. So you might be coming into all kinds of Aquarian downloads, new innovative ideas, and you might be asked to share and communicate those ideas with the collective. Aquarius in the fourth house. So this is a tough one. If you have Aquarius in the fourth house, this is the area of home, the area of family, our deep karmic roots, and this is the area of our deep emotions, and it is connected to our sense of self-worth. Because if we grew up in a traumatic household, that is definitely going to have an effect on our personal self-worth as an adult, right? And so there's going to be a lot uprooted. You might be experiencing maybe a lot of emotional losses. You might have family members leaving your life. But this is to get to the root cause of your family issues when it comes to any ancestral patterns and wounding that needs to be cleared. If you have Aquarius in your fifth house, this is your area of creative self-expression. It's also the house of romance, entertainment, children, and it's the house where we take risks, right? It's the house of sex. It's the house of fun. So, you might find maybe a shift in consciousness when it comes to how you raise your children. You might really start embracing your personal individual self-expression over the next 20 years. You might take a risk when it comes to maybe a romantic endeavor coming up here. And so if you have Aquarius in your sixth house, this is the area of learning by material transaction. And so this is what you put out there, you get back, right? The sixth house also deals with our health. It also deals with like our career. You can find your job there, right? That's learning by material transaction. So sixth house would be where financial abundance would maybe come in at if you've done the Aquarian work. So you might be thinking about a job change or stepping into maybe being a business owner, an entrepreneur. If you have your Aquarius in the sixth house. Now here's a tough one too. If you have Aquarian energy, if you have Aquarius in your seventh house, this is the house of one-on-one relationships. This deals with marriage, partnerships, and all areas of social and intellectual interactions and action. The seventh house will also, I got a third eye pressure. The seventh house will also indicate karmic soul ties as well. And so if you have Aquarius in the seventh house, get ready for all of your one-on-one relationships to go through a transformation. This likely will lead to the end of a marriage or a partnership. This could mean the breakdown of an entire social group in order for you to clear all of these karmic soul contracts out. And so I know all about that with my Virgo in my seventh house, and that was a tough one for me to kind of work through. And so the eighth house does deal with transformation and death, and the eighth house is naturally ruled by Scorpio, and so this is the house of our emotional security, though. And it does represent the security of the soul. And so I get ready for some type of massive transformation and rebirth if you do have Aquarius in your 8th house, because you're going to be working with all kinds of Plutonian, Scorpionic, Aquarian, underworld themes. So really pay attention to that. You might be feeling like you've got no sense of emotional control if Aquarian energy is hitting your 8th house. And then the 9th house is the house of the subconscious mind, higher mind exploration. This is the area of search for social and intellectual security. And so this is where we break down these old programmed leaves, right? If you have Aquarius in the 10th house, this is the area of material action. So these all kind of work together. So the midhaven does represent the spiritual, preordained work that we will do this lifetime. This is the place that we will take in the world within society structures. And this will become more important the older you get. So I feel like if you're like in your late 30s, early 40s, you're likely going to experience some type of midlife crisis. And that's kind of what happened to me with my 10th house energy. My 10th house was in Sag. And so when Sagittarius, when Pluto shifted from Sag to Capricorn, that was an initiation for my purpose. A big part of my purpose is to talk about the distortion between the masculine and the feminine energies. A big part of my spiritual knowledge is these relationship patterns. I've mastered karmic relationships. Oh my God, I'm the master of picking the wrong person and learning the same lesson over and over again, wrapped in a different freaking package, right? And so it becomes more apparent the older you get, right? And wisdom does come with age and some painful life lessons, right? So I do feel get ready to step into some type of spiritual work if your 10th house is in Aquarius. And so that would mix with the polar opposite of the 4th house, right? And so if you have Aquarius in your 11th house, this is our social groups. So get ready to upheave some type of social structure or some type of, social group that's given you some type of security. That's going to get upheaved. And so that's kind of what happened to me the last 15 years. My social circle drastically shifted, right? And now it's kind of much obsolete. I have many, many friends, but I don't hang out with anybody. I spend my time alone, right? I hang out with my friends, my spiritual friends at like the markets and stuff. I don't got time to be playing games, right? I got soul work to do, but and then of course we close off with the 12th house, and so this is where Aquarius is in my house, and my south node in Aquarius hits there. So the 12th house is the area of education, emotions. This is the house of spirituality. This is the house where we meet our karma, where we deal with endings, and sometimes where we bury things. And maybe these things being buried will be people. We bury the past, we bury the pain. After we feel the pain, we put an end to it, right? And so for me, the next 20 years, I do feel it will be a huge karmic clearing. I know there's going to be all kinds of endings, and I do feel there's going to be all kinds of death energy. Actually, I know my uncle that has been in the hospital since last November. Those of you that have been following me for a while, my uncle was rushed to the hospital. He actually had a stroke and a heart attack. He was on life support for quite a while. I didn't even think he was going to pull through, but he just got transferred to Chatham yesterday. And so the next couple months are going to be pretty heavy for my family, because we were told it's about quality of life, that he's got maybe maximum 2 months of life left. And so to make it the best quality life that we can with what little time we have left with him. And so that's kind of where it links into the houses. So let's pull in with some cards, guys, and let's see what else needs to come through. And we're going to pull like current energies. My goal is to get current energies today as Pluto shifts into Aquarius. What can we expect? Indecision. It's crossroads, right? The energy is saying we cannot stay idle. We have to choose. We cannot stay cloaked in the shadows. We cannot stay in the forest trying to find our way through. We have to choose a path, or a path will be chosen for you. And so this indecision, this rambling, it is an 8, which indicates a karmic cycle coming back around for understanding. And so we can't walk through that doorway to personal happiness and healing if we're not willing to speak our truth. Major throat chakra activations with Mercury and Aries. Let me tell you, everybody's ready to just blow off, fly off the handle. Shit is explosive when it comes to communication. And so throat chakra activation. So do you want to walk through this doorway? We are in the year of truth seeking. This is the 37, breaking down to the year that we're in, 7. Truth. We're in the year of truth seeking. And so in order to step towards personal healing and happiness, we got to get honest, right? So somebody here has chosen to not walk through this new energy, the garden and the gate. And so this is about the garden energy, the Eden energy. And so somebody has chosen to not walk through the doorway of this new experience. And there's that stress and there's that anxiety. So where do you need to overcome this stress, this anxiety? There's a lot of emotional healing coming up, and there's that Magician in the mirror. So somebody here is in a mirroring connection. And let's face it, twin flame is a mirror. I also feel at certain points in the journey, twin flame is a mirror between an empath and a narcissist. There is some type of unhealthy attachment here, and you're dealing with a mirroring connection to get you to see your own ego that needs to be shed. Somebody's not being honest, somebody's wearing a mask, and somebody's in a karmic attachment, and there needs to be balance. So when we go into these karmic plutonic relationships, they do come in to transform our life, right? They do come in to open that doorway to spirit. And so, well, isn't that a doozy? Deceit, we're not going to be tolerating that anymore. We've got a trickster here. We've got a master manipulator. And that's also a 7. So get ready for some honesty. Get ready for some exposure as to who's been deceiving you, who's been a trickster in your life. We got somebody here very sneaky, very sly. And if you're dealing with a deceitful person and you've been indecisive about leaving that behind, I think take that leap of faith, because, you know, sometimes these master manipulators, they are so good at lying. And us as empaths, we fall for that every single time. So just be aware. Use your discernment, right? Trust in that gut intuition. So that come out again, that deceit. So this is what I want to say. Victory over the liars, the thieves. This is victory over deceit. We are stepping into victory. And there's that doorway to value. So it's a 31 breaking down to a 4. So this might be linked to somebody's 4th house of deep roots. And I like it, the sun. There's that Leo energy. So, and that's the me, right? With the sun. So we could be talking to somebody here with Leo in their chart. I find it interesting. We get like the 1st and the 7th house energy coming through. So we could have a Leo rising here, Aquarius, 7th house. We could have an Aquarius rising and a Leo. I kind of feel like Leo 1st house, Aquarius 7th house is kind of what I'm feeling. So I could be talking to a Leo rising. And that's not going to mean the message isn't for you, but I could be talking to a Leo rising. That's interesting. My oldest daughter, Kenzie, is a Leo rising. And let me tell you, she woke up this morning in tears. She couldn't even pinpoint why she was so upset. Her emotions were all over the place. It was rough, right? So all of her one-on-one relationships are getting upheaved. And so something is being illuminated, right? And if you're dealing with somebody and you're struggling financially, if the cupboards are bare, if it's feeling like nothing will manifest for you, that's a 13, right? That's a rebirth energy. Something's going to be illuminated about a deceitful person here in order for you to step towards victory. Somebody here is dealing with a deceitful person that's blocked some money, some finances coming in. And so there's going to be a need to rest and rejuvenate. And that's the 19, and that is the death of the ego. 19 is the energy of ego, because there's like a storm warning. That tornado's going to come in and rip everything to shreds that can't stay. And then we're opening up to this Christ consciousness, right? The healer of the ages. The almighty return of Yeshua, right? Yeha, Jesus, whatever you want to call it, the divine, Christ consciousness. This is the the return of the cosmic Christ. And in order to open up the doorway to Christ, we have to kind of heal our broken heart, right? We're going to leave that out. We got to go into the depths of the underworld, of the grief, of the sadness, and we got to put ourselves back together again. And so the door to value will always lead to the door to romance. The two coincide together, and this is about the community. This is about Aquarian values. Once again, another 7. And so this is where we're at, guys. We're closing out these karmic contracts. We're blindly taking a leap of faith, trusting that it's time to close these contracts out. And we're journeying. We're journeying towards fulfillment. We're on a spiritual journey. Let's read into a couple of these energies. Very intense. So karmic contracts closing. Blind faith is going to be needed for sure, for sure. So I do want to read the deceit card first and foremost, since that one kept popping out. Because there's a message in there for somebody for sure. Let me find it. All right, hostilities. Defenses are up, I feel. Defenses are up. So the deceit card. Somebody is a master manipulator, and there's some hidden tactics going on here, guys. So pay attention. The deceit card comes with a warning that there is deception going on in your life. You're dealing with a person that's been hiding something, personally or professionally. So you're put on notice. It is time to accept that the past is over, or it is about to end. You've got some kind of an enemy at work against you, and that contract is being dissolved. So I think open up to some communication. This is about developing communication in our personal life. There is some type of negative and dishonest energy out of here on the way out, right? And so I'm really big on honest communication. I get really enraged when people don't come from a place of integrity. And you know, we all can fall back. We all can make mistakes. But I'm a big believer in taking accountability when you mess up. Like, I'm a parent that if I mess up, I'm going to sit and I'm going to apologize to my kids. So I can teach them how to apologize, right? I don't know why it's so hard for so many people to apologize or admit that they've done something wrong. Because that's what is needed for this new peaceful opening, is kind of what I feel. So on a deep level, I do feel we've been in this period of self-doubt, self-deceit. Maybe you're the one deceiving yourself too. But I do feel whatever deceit is going on, it's really hindered things like your self-esteem, your happiness, how you spend your leisure time. And so the universe is saying, hey, stop staying in this experience that doesn't honor the energy. It's shrouded in deceit, self-deceit. And the truth is, I want to bring greater value into your life. And so get ready to mend a broken heart. It is always through the depths of the darkness that we rise like the sun, right? And so there's difficulties in everybody's external world right now. There's difficulties in our emotional life as all of these energies are kind of piling up, boom. And so the broken heart, there's grief, there's loss that comes with every life transformation, every change, every ending. Nothing stays the same. Change is constant. Everything changes. And so this could be hurt from 20 years ago. This could be hurt from 15 years ago at the start of Pluto in Capricorn. Or it could be recent pain from a recent ending or a new ending, a new event. Either way, deep spiritual collective healing is what is called for with this transit right now. And so vent your feelings, release your feelings, but whatever you do, don't stuff them down anymore, okay? So open your heart to the light. The only way to open your heart to divine love and healing is to go through this very difficult, painful process of feeling all of these old experiences. We cannot let them go. We cannot open up our heart until we go through this difficult process. And when we're true to our heart and the abiding love that we rightly deserve, that's when we can close out these contracts, right? No matter how painful it is. And so the broken heart also does mark a time of renewal and hope. the light at the end of the tunnel, the silver lining, right? And so the pain and the trauma can be put behind us now. That's where I feel like I'm at. I've done it. I'm trusting in this great big joy that's around the corner. I've never felt this good in a long time. Well, since my awakening, I just feel grounded, stable, solid. I feel like I'm finally over the hump today. And so whatever has happened in the past to hurt you, we've all been hurt. We've all been traumatized, and nobody's trauma is worse than the other. We all signed up for certain experiences for our own personal growth. And so don't go comparing your trauma to another's trauma. Don't do that. If something hurt you, then that was important to you, right? So whatever has happened to hurt you in the past, we're going to be free to move on in these energies. The universe is saying there's so much more better out there for all of us. So what do you need to finish letting go of in order to open up to this new life? Is there residual grief that still needs to be released? If so, it's probably coming around that Libra full moon. So where can you set new loving intentions? And trust that the focus on yourself will bring forward new, joyous, loving connections. So release the pain of the past and live with compassion for yourself. We do this for ourselves. We do not transform for anybody other than ourselves. So let love heal you. Let love renew you on this journey. Okay, let's pull some quantum oracle energies. All right, we got loss. Oh my God, we got a big loss, right? And usually with an ending does come a loss. Look at that. But this event, this loss, this shakeup is giving you a blank canvas. We get the 8 of events and the 2 of events. And what do we get? We get 10. We get completion. So whatever upheaval is taking place, it's likely due to a long, lengthy period of indecision. And now look at all them ships are sailing away in the sunset. So there is going to be a loss, and I do feel it's going to be an emotional loss. It will lead to a blank canvas, a new creative endeavor, and we're releasing something that is not true love. This is not true love. This is not the honoring path of integrity. This is not a kindred partnership. And if you've deceived yourself and called a trauma bond twin flame, welcome to the club. We've all been there. We've all done it. It is not sacred. It is not true love. It is not honoring your spiritual path, your spiritual journey. So it is a block to this new beginning. So let's see what needs to come through for you. So look at, we got kindred partnership in reverse, and I didn't know any of these were in reverse. I just pulled the box. I don't even remember the last time I used the deck. And transformation in reverse. Don't you want true love? Don't you want that kindred connection with another without the trauma, without the baggage? So what are you waiting for? There's resistance to a transformation. Do you really want to stay stuck in those karmic loops and repeat that cycle for another 20 years? Or do you want to transform and call in a divine counterpart? So let's see what needs to come through with the quantum oracle deck. Let's see. Now we get a kindred partnership and courage. So, you know, suit up, put on your armor. You know, a broken heart ain't going to kill you. Although it might hurt. might kill your ego. I know, it killed mine. But we can have this beautiful, loving, kindred partnership. We all can attain this. We all can manifest this. But we have to find our courage to leave behind what's not meant for us. And it's scary, right? Because we're going into the woods, we're going into the dark, and we don't know what's going to be on the other side of that forest of that muddled thinking, right? So let's see what needs to come through with the quantum oracle deck, quantum energy oracle deck, messages for the collective. Somebody might need some professional assistance. It's also a 7. So all these 7, 7, 7, 7, 7s coming out. So that is divinely guided change. Behind Damask landed right on professional assistance. So intention. Somebody here has some poor intentions. Look at that. We got another 7. So that's like the wheel reversed. So somebody is in a very stuck cycle. They are wearing a mask and they need to reach out for help. somebody is really keeping their foot stuck in the wheel when it comes to releasing a cycle, and there's going to be a storm. There's going to be a conflict. There is going to be a conflict, but that broken heart is going to lead somebody right towards a loving woman, and this is a milestone moment. So, and then we get 6-6. So the balance to journey, the journey to balance and harmony. What I find interesting in my numerology, my middle name Jean, it does break down to 6-6, and so everybody thinks 6 is the mark of the beast, and I always kind of got a laugh. So, as a little girl, I was a huge Jan Arden fan. And it's that song, like, oh my God, what is the song? The one about Jesus, anyway. And and what does it say in the song? Love is a demon, and you're the one I'm coming for. And so love truly is the light of the dark. And there's, like, it's all rooted together, right? And so a milestone feels like the world, feels like a huge accomplishment. And we get bottom of the deck, discovery with peace reversed, both in reverse. So I feel the new discovery has just shown how off track somebody's gotten. This person wearing a mask, and they're right in the sacred temple. So in the sacred temple of truth. And so there is going to be a breakdown of some family and some friends. Somebody that maybe misguided you, a group of friends that misguided you. There's going to be a breakdown of a social group. And you're going to be releasing a connection that is not true love. And I do feel somebody's lacked the strength and the optimism to take action. And they've been going back and forth. And they've been rejecting these new supportive connections. So there's going to be a shift here for sure. We'll read the book again with this deck. And then we're going to pull in with some tarot. I knew this was going to be intense. So we're going to read the behind the mask. Because Aquarian energy is all about authenticity. And we've got somebody here that's not authentic, right? So, behind a mask. Page 89, 17. So that might mean something to somebody. 17. Also breaks down to an 8. What goes around comes around. 89. Choosing self-acceptance. So let's look at the card, right? We got this woman, this very elegant woman wearing an elegant mask. And I'm not saying it's a woman that's wearing a mask, but somebody here has hidden their identity. And maybe even your friends don't even know who you are. There is some type of conflict when it comes to somebody setting intentions here. I do feel somebody's had a lot of opportunities to choose the new path, and now they're finding themselves absolutely depleted. Maybe to the point where they believe that they have to hide who they truly are and pretend to be somebody that they're not in order to fit into a group. And let's face it, then that's not your group. So, somebody has a whole lot of mental messes going on in their mind right now wearing a mask, and maybe you've overly compared yourself to others. Maybe you're always competing. And likely often losing, right? Why are you always competing? Perfectionism, too, can be a big issue in the energy. Somebody here, I feel, has created so much anxiety and stress in their life, worrying about what other people think of them, that they've got this ongoing onslaught of self-judgment going on, and there's some rage coming to the surface, pushing to the surface. So it is absolutely impossible to attract your true desires if you're not being true to yourself. I just got to say that. So if you're not allowing yourself to be the real you, then you will never, ever get what it is that you want. So it is the energy of shedding the old, shedding this false persona, and it is the energy of condemnation. So no matter how deep our subconscious patterns go, no matter how much our external truth has come from the input of others about us, we can let go of the mask and say, fuck it. Like, that's kind of, what I did. Open up to spirit, let light in, be yourself. And if you end up alone, trust that that's where you need to be. And the right people will come along at the right time. So if you want to feel completely liberated, maybe even for the first time in your life, get ready to take off the mask, right? And so I do feel this is an opportunity of wonderful alignment of our soul's identity, of our personal viewpoints, There's likely going to be some type of life-changing realization that has already come forward or will very soon in order for you to do things differently. Nobody needs to seek the approval of anybody else outside of you. So have confidence in your authenticity. That's what Aquarius energy asks us to do. Unconditional acceptance of self is what truly removes any restrictions that you put on your energy. Any restrictions come from you. So embrace some change. Get ready for happier days. Choose to accept yourself as you are and look at yourself in high regard. So let's jump in with the tarot and let's see what needs to come through today as Pluto transitions into Aquarius. I like it. Hey, the cards don't always come out positive, right? I got to read the energy as it comes out, but today it's looking pretty good with the World and the Nine of Cups. Wishes coming true, dreams becoming reality. This is a magical time. Get ready maybe for some good fortune. This is a time of success, accomplishment, something rounding completion, spiritual enlightenment. So you could be dealing with a Pisces with that Nine of Cups, or you could be dealing with one of the fixed signs. Oh my God. Well, there's those Capricorn daddy issues with the Emperor reversed and the World reversed. So we got somebody here that's not learning a lesson. We got a father. The Emperor is a father. We got a father that's not been a good father. We've got a masculine here that has no organization in his life, has lacked logic, has lacked success, has been unwilling to do the right thing and take charge of a situation. And I do feel there's going to be restructuring. Look at that kind of flip. We've got a masculine here that's been greedy. All they cared about was the money. All they cared about was accomplishment and money. Definitely not a supportive spouse or a supportive person. And maybe there's going to be a big conflict with a father. It could be your own father, right? I know I still got a little bit of daddy issues below the surface. I'm sure that'll be dealt with over the coming 20 years, I would like to think. But somebody here is not learning a lesson. Somebody here is wearing a mask. Somebody here is operating out of their ego, maybe even displaying a lot of narcissistic traits. And let's face it, we all have a little bit of narcissism. Like I talked about, we all have an ego. It gets us out of bed in the morning. We've got a masculine here, I feel, who is not stepping into freedom, maybe stepping into some type of karmic punishment. And we got a lot of Aries energy, so yeah. And we got an Emperor in reverse dealing with a Queen of Wands in reverse. So great. That's just great. That's like the narcissist meets his match with a female narcissist is kind of what it feels like. We got two narcs here in a power struggling dynamic with each other. Two people that lack independence, control freaks. There's like two people that don't believe in themselves. No dreams are coming true in this connection. This is wrong. This is off. This is angry. There's a need to become aware of the imbalance in this relationship. All I got to say is we got somebody here, jealous, possessive, doesn't know her worth, doesn't know her value because she's dealing with a narcissist. And we got two people trying to control one another. And I think this is going to create a major conflict coming up with these energies. So let's, so like deceit, right? We got two people deceiving. We got two people tit for tatting. Why are you with that person? Why would you even bother to play those silly narcissistic games with somebody? Walk away. Victory's on the other side of not playing into those games anymore. So maybe this is going to, take some self-love and a broken heart to say, hey, I'm done with this cycle. I'm done with this contract 666. I'm closing this out, right? I'm tired of the fighting in this foundation. All we do is fight. And so there's no peace. You might need to go and get help with a lawyer or a counselor of some sort. I'm not a counselor, but there's something ending. All of these false twin flame karmic contracts are coming to an end. There's nothing left to celebrate there. There's no unity. There's no contentment. There's no peace. There's no prosperity. So let's do a 9-card spread. And let's see what needs to come through with Pluto entering into Aquarius. 8 of Wands reversed. 6 of Pentacles upright. Oh, there's the stress, the anxiety, expecting the worst. Knight of Wands. Aries. Eight of Swords reversed. I like it. King of Cups. We got a king. We got a masculine here. All up in his feelings. Expecting the worst. Creating a self-fulfilling prophecy because we got somebody here that was deceitful. That was a liar. That likely was not honest. There could be an embarrassing cheating scenario coming out. Somebody here. Warning. Warning. We've got a King of Cups here. It doesn't have to be a Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, but it's sure feeling like that. That is so afraid of an embarrassing secret coming out because they were not honest. They're losing their peace of mind and their personal freedom. They need to really refocus their thoughts here. Oh yeah, because they're like clinging. Look at all of these swords. And boom! There comes that realignment. What you thought you could avoid and not have to deal with. Somebody here was juggling, playing games. We got a gamer here, a game player here. And boom, rebalancing. Boom, awakening. It's time to wake up. No more time for reflection. No more time for insights. It's time to take action. It's time to break free. And there's that victory again. So we got somebody here operating out of their ego. They've been feeling like they've been entrapped in a situation. Well, that's an illusion. With the Eight of Cups in reverse, the illusion of entrapment, right? Breaking free. This is about making better choices. Choices that will not only support your path to happiness, but the greater good path to happiness. So get ready to break unhealthy habits, addictions. Get ready to make a wise decision. It's time to embrace your uniqueness. You could be dealing with a Pisces or a Capricorn, but those are the big energies coming through. So somebody's done something in the past, whether it was good or bad, and something's coming back around to pay off some debt. So if you put good out there, get ready to receive an inflow of abundance, an unexpected inflow of abundance. If you were a sneaky, shady, manipulative person, get ready to experience a lot less fortune. And so somebody's been struggling with sleepless nights, thinking about taking action. There is going to be an event today that will require immediate action, that will break somebody free. We've got a masculine here that has not been responsible. We've got a father here that has not taken accountability for a mess that they've made in their life. They've not been trustworthy. They've not been honorable. They've not been a devoted father. That's for sure. They've not been a safe haven for their children. They've definitely not been a solid partner in a romantic relationship, and they've got hidden intentions here, hidden emotions coming to the surface. There's resistance to leaving or traveling to a new location. I feel a masculine getting the boot here. There's challenging times. I feel somebody is so fearful of going their own way. There's like this extreme illness or depression coming up. Somebody does not want to relocate. But some truth is being exposed, and I feel somebody's being forced to go in another direction. And we get this Queen of Coins. So we do have a loving woman here. Generous, practical, patient, gracious. We've got a loving woman here that takes care of her family, takes care of her home, nurtures everything. She's practical about everything, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. She loves art. She loves beauty. She just has this sensible approach to life. And so I feel somebody has to pay back some karmic debt to this Queen of Pentacles. So let's look at this Six of Pentacles. Yeah. There was a past betrayal. There's been blocked communication. And I do feel somebody definitely needs to get a weight off their shoulders when it comes to some blocked communication. There's going to be some type of melodramatic event playing out today that is going to bring sadness, but it's going to bring relief. Yeah, there's going to be a release of a missed opportunity. So get ready for a major ending here for sure. It's going to lead to a new beginning. And there's going to be a release of a person or a situation that's held you back as part of this transformation, and that's the Death card. And so Four of Swords in reverse. There's been resistance to going within. I also feel this energy of wanting to bring something back from the dead. The Four of Swords reverse can mean the death of an idea or a person, but I feel after an ending, somebody wants to revive Something from about 4 years ago is what I'm feeling, and this will lead to big love. A beautiful new emotional experience here on the table with this energy shift. So somebody's awakening to some psychic abilities, some spiritual insights. Get ready to maybe receive a love letter of some sort. This is unexpected, immediate action being taken towards a passionate relationship. So let's take a look at the Two of Pentacles, because this is a major, major realignment taking place today. High Priestess, Pisces, King of Pentacles, Nine of Wands. So there was that King of Pentacles that came out before. And so I do feel somebody is struggling with some financial security. Definitely deeply wounded. We could be talking to a Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Could be talking to somebody with their Chiron in Aries. There is some secret wounding coming to the surface. We do got somebody here very charismatic, though. They are really good at putting that veil of illusion over somebody's eyes. And I feel somebody's really wanted to protect their heart by not feeling this. But secrets, hidden emotions coming to light. And I do think everything will work out beautifully. But we've got a masculine here bottoming out because he's not been a supportive parent, is what I'm feeling. He's not been a good person to work with, to work for. And so there's somebody here that needs to gain some wisdom. And I feel the divine's just bringing in an abundance of downloads of truth, brilliant ideas. You know, where in your life do you need refinement? There are going to be some major, major obstacles to overcome, but this is about clear, concise communication, unity. We're building spiritually minded communities. So look at where Taurus is at in your chart, because we're breaking free from these mundane traditional methods, and we're bringing in these new foundations of love, which is best for the collective. So you've got the power. Magic is alive right now, and we all have the ability to successfully manifest what we want, but we have to believe it, and we have to take the action to achieve it. So there's going to be some type of news about a canceled engagement. I do feel, and somebody choosing a different family path, and that's kind of what I got for Pluto going into Aquarius today. Let's get one last message from Spirit when it comes to these energies. So yeah, just one. All I need is the one. So you hear that, guys? Your spiritual path is being illuminated. It's time to try a different approach. Partnership requires compromise and an open mind and a loving heart. Are you ready? Somebody's given the chance to do something over, a redo, a do-over. So what are you going to do differently? Try a different approach. Somebody here is a teacher. And so where do you need to release depleting, dissatisfying energies in your life in order for a redo? And that's what I got. Wow. I really hope this helped, guys. I hope this resonated. If you would like to book a personal or a soulmate reading with me, now is the perfect time. Like I said, huge sale on. Check out the description box below. Hit me up. Send me an email. Find me on Facebook. And let's get that booked in, because we are in unprecedented times right now. This is the Great Awakening. And so I'd love to give you that extra push to understand who you are, what you came here to do, and get you back on the sacred temple path. And that's what I got. Have a great day, everybody. I love you all so much.